evening and welcome back to the iceHQ Ice Rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia on Warranjoy Woiwurrung traditional land for the CCM National Women's Tournament 2024. It is a Saturday night and it's hotting up. Tonight is the clash of the Titans, the Central Coast Stingrays versus the West Australian Quokkas. The Ice Quokkas, I should say. It will be a fascinating game indeed. The Stingrays have so far undefeated. The Quokkas have lost one. The big news for the Quokkas, though, is the unfortunate injury earlier on today to Bobby Clark. We're not sure that we'll see her back on the ice. She was assisted from the ice in her last game. But the big turn-up for the Central Coast is Sam Winder, who took 4 goals in the one game earlier today when they played against the Shinailators, and they took that game 11-0. So absolutely a crushing win there by the Central Coast. They've been very effective. Bosca's done particularly well. Sam Winder, of course, is outstanding. Poppy Kelly's made a number of great opportunities throughout this series as well. And Wilkinson's been effective. But in the net for them, Guinevere Lunt has been good too. For the Quokkas, McNabb's been excellent so far, and Angela Leber has been superb. Stenval has been rock solid and reliable in defence, and they've had Bobby Clark, who scored quite a number of goals. She had 5, but she won't be doing any from now on, we suspect. Certainly can't see her on the ice at the moment, so that's going to make life a little bit more difficult for the Quokkas. Can they recover from the loss of that and find the next player up and see if they can get some more goals? They need Antil to step up. Antil looked very threatening early on in the series, but has been a little bit quiet in the last couple of games. Can she feature now that they will be without Clark? We'll be underway very, very shortly in this clash of the two teams on the top of the ladder. The Quokkas with 8 points and with 6 points, and the Central Coast Stingrays with 8 points on the ladder at the moment. The Quokkas tied up on points with the Reds, but ahead on plus-minus with a plus 11, although the Central Coast Stingrays, they're plus 19 out of 4 games. So they have been dominant indeed in most of the games that they have played, not the least of which the 11-0 win that certainly pushed them right up to the very top, not just on points, but also plus-minus. But at the end of this one, it could either be all square at the top with the Quokkas and the Coast Stingrays both with 8, or the Stingrays could expand on their lead and take it out to a 4.2 game lead through the series so far. Later on tonight, the Reds will be playing at 9:45 Eastern Standard Summer Time. For those of you in WA, and that's minus 3 hours, I should say. No, plus 3. I'll get there eventually. You've 3 hours difference. 3 hours behind, I believe. So our 9:45 will be your 6:45 p.m. if you want to watch that one, but they'll be playing the Shinailators, and it'll be hard money, or you'd be unwise to suggest that the Shinailators will beat the Reds, but anything can happen in this game. Every dog has its day, as they say. We're about to get underway now. The Central Coast in the green, the Quokkas in the black with the usual West Australian black and yellow. And the face-off won by the Quokkas. It's put into the corner, but shoved back by the Stingrays. Chipping the puck up the ice, though, trying to break the puck out was forward, but it goes around the back of the net and will be picked up by Savitas, who looks up ice, trying to find an option and does. Nice connection through traffic, but going back to pick it up and finding the very effective Dowell, but Dowell lost a bit of footing there, is now breaking out Bosca. Bosca can't hold it, looks across ice, tries to find an option. Had Gilly streaming up, but it didn't go through. Picked up there, Newbury looking up ice. But it's stolen by the West Australian team. A little bit of to and fro on just inside the blue line. But eventually it comes back to the Stingrays, who clear the puck up ice. It's going to go all the way, and it will go for icing. So the Stingrays looking to try and get a change, but they can't on an icing. If you're not familiar with the rule, if the puck is played from your half of the ice, your side of the red line in the middle, and crosses the goal line at the other end without anyone touching it, that's icing, and the puck is brought back into a defensive zone. The sting in the tail is you're not allowed to get a change. So if you're tired, bad luck, you've got to stay on the ice. Chip through, Bosca wins the face-off, just trying to put it behind the back of the West Australian centre. Puck goes around behind the net now. It's going to be pressure by Dowell, trying to move the puck up ice, finding Gillies, and Gillies dumps it deep, but only as far as Stenval. Stenval dumps up the ice, been rock solid throughout this tournament so far. It's picked up, Dowell goes down the middle. She's got 3 in front of her while the Central Coast team is making a change, so she's isolated on her own, but she does have Poppy Kelly now floating in the high slot, looking dangerous if they can get the pass across to her. A bit overcommitted though in defence, the Central Coast, as Dowell was in deep. No one was coming back to cover for her. They lose possession. They couldn't quite get a handle on the puck there. And luckily for them, the West Australian 10 not able to take advantage there of Newbury's pass across ice. It went unfortunately for her to no one in particular. And we're going to have the first penalty of the game. Yes. No, not a penalty. Something's happened. Anyway, maybe it was an offside. Kelly to face off against Edwards. Not a particularly clear win for either. Puck ends up back with the Stingrays picking it up. Stanton, and it's dumped in deep in the end by none other than our favourite Annie Bartlett, who has stayed out of the penalty box so far, to all of our disappointment. And it goes behind the net now. The Quokkas looking to try and put the puck into the slot. Goes through everything, including right past the goaltender. It was watched there by Lunt, but didn't go. Nice little backhand shot by the West Australians. Gets not quite over the shoulder of Lunt. Lunt managed to make the save. It looked almost like it had gone over a shoulder. It was a little backhander. You can see great angle there by Braun, but it wouldn't go. Lunt managing to get up onto it. Otherwise, it would have just rolled over the back of her and gone in. A really tricky thing to save those weird angle shots. That's why they're so effective in close. But the West Australians win the face-off. Trying to fire the puck in on the net was Savitas, but it wouldn't go. And it's dumped up ice by the Central Coast team, and racing off now to pick it up is Forward. Forward looks around, sees a bit of forechecking pressure coming in by Winder. Winder loses her footing. And the puck played up the boards as far as Bartlett, who puts it back into the feet of Winder, who skates around looking for an option. Gets a pass intercepted by Coe. And finds the puck back. And gets past them. Gets wide. Looking for the option in the slot. Takes the shot. Save made, Watson. It's the first bit of real engagement we've seen from Winder in this one. Winder gets another shot. Watson the save. Just a positional one. It wasn't going to go. It wasn't going to miss anything, but the save still had to be made. Picked up now. Savitas turns and plays the puck up ice. It'll be picked up now by Antil. Antil has been threatening. Gets a shot on, but it goes wide of the net. Watched harmlessly by Lunt. And now picking up Wilkinson, tries to get past Savitas, but the puck picked off there, and it is. Looks like Bobby Clark is in fact on the ice. That's great to see. The injury that we thought she had that was going to take her out of the tournament has not done so. It's great to see her on the ice, but it's unfortunate, not so good to see Wilkinson there lose her footing. No, that's not Wilkinson, sorry, that's Elwood. Kristen Elwood getting knocked over in the slot. Just lost her footing and a bit of a hard fall, but looks like no significant injury, but it's great to see. I thought that Bobby Clark might not have been in this game, but fortunately that is not the case. She's been absolutely electric throughout this tournament. Number one goal scorer so far with 5. And sitting a penalty there will be Coe for possibly a trip or possibly interference. And the West Australians will have to defend on the penalty kill, while the Central Coast team has the numerical advantage. Face-off won by the West Australians. They chip the puck up and clear it out of the zone just. And it has to go and be picked up by Dowell, who skates around trying to find some options. He's been a bit of forechecking pressure placed on her, but she goes wide, tries to put the puck on the net. It runs into a black body. And the puck dumped down the other end very wisely there by Nab, forcing the Central Coast to have to go back and pick it up. And now they just moving back down the middle of the ice. The West Australians setting up a box defence as they drift back into it. Bobby Clark goes out to try and put some pressure onto Newbury. Newbury gets it onto a backhand. Puck goes across the front from a bad angle, because that's what a box defence does. It forces you to shoot from poor angles. And the save made by Watson. 8 minutes and 37 seconds to go in the first. We have 4 shots on the net by the Stingray for no goals, and 1 shot on the net by the Quokkas for no goals, and Coe currently with about a minute to go on the penalty on Coe. West Australians with a good penalty kill so far. It's been disciplined and structured. They put the puck up high. They're just trying to chip the puck out of the zone, but Dal keeps it in. No, Dal doesn't keep it in, but now going in to put some pressure on Poppy Kelly, but she's beaten by Stenval. Stenval dumps the puck deep, but it'll be retrieved by Dowell, who Gets a bit of room in the middle. She's got Clark putting pressure on her. It goes wide. So that's Olafson putting her wide. An opportunity in the slot there for the Central Coast, but they couldn't quite make it go. They've got probably Kelly circling around, but the West Australians clear the puck out of the zone. So the Central Coast team having to go back and taking back in again. Dal pushed into the corner. We've got a hand up for another infraction. We've got a high stick. And that's going to be a penalty on Dowell, who will be sitting 2 for a high stick. And now the Quokkas with the opportunity. Ko will be on the drop of the puck. So it'll be 4-on-4 until a puck is dropped. So it may look a little strange to you watching this on the video feed. You'll see 4 players for each team, but as soon as a puck is dropped, Ko will be on the ice immediately behind the play for the Ice Quokkas and may well integrate directly into the attack. The Central Coast now having to kill the penalty. Dowell will be sitting 2 for a high stick. They win the penalty through Winder. Puck around the back of the net. There's Ko straight onto the ice, integrating well straight into the system. But the Tess Wilkinson trying to clear the puck out of the zone. It does so. Loses a footing in the process. Picked up Winder. But back to the West Australians. Winder now with 4 in front, trying to get a shorty. Drives the puck into the corner, racing back to get it, McNabb. McNabb gets there first. The puck played around the side. Picked up by Tess Wilkinson for the Central Coast. Plays it up to the point. They're on the penalty kill, the Central Coast, but you wouldn't know it by the way they're committing. Now blasting up through Antle, but trying to get past the pressure there of Winder. Winder keeps it under control. Ko wears a puck. Mikowski, wore a puck there right in the snout, but that's why we wear the face cages. The West Australians with an opportunity, but tied up by Dowell. There's some great work on the penalty kill, the Central Coast so far. A shot from a distance, tipped in and scores. Shot from outside the circle by Jenny Ko. Deflects. And we'll just see the tip in here. Beautiful play. Just gets around that deceptive angle. And that was Antil who finished it off. So Antil gets the goal on the power play for the Quokkas. Antil's been threatening to do that all throughout the entire tournament. Makes that connection. It was a lovely shot from Ko who got it in. She just come off from the penalty and gets a shot in. Tip changes direction. And all one could do was just watch it sail past in the end. Puck bobbling up high from the face-off. Picked up Boxer. And now it's played in by Bartlett, who makes sure that everyone's aware of the fact that she's there. McNabb will know about that one. And the West Australians clear the puck out of the zone as far as Buchanan. Buchanan rims it across, flies it across the ice. Bartlett now tries to chip it past Nab and does. But, the puck bobbling around the top. Picked up Sarah Darcy. Darcy has a little bit of room, but forechecking pressure on her, keeping it pinned down, and she couldn't get across the zone. It was nice work there, Parker. And now picking it up, Nab. Nab gets past Bartlett. She's got Boxker in front of it. She tries to put the puck across, but back there for it was Buchanan, who drove it safely into the corner. And wiped out of the zone by Gillies, and eventually Boxker gets a backhand on it, chips away and races over to get a change. The Central Coast changing up now while the West Australians reset. It'll be picked up almost there by Clark, the 5-goal scorer through the tournament. As Poppy Kelly now gets a bit of speed around the corner. Makes the first deep, goes wide into the corner. She's got a poor angle from that point, circles around, buys herself some space. She's trying to find Winder, is trying to find Spalina, but we have another penalty. It's going to be the West Australians sitting another 2. And that's Annika Stenval who'll be sitting 2 for that one. It looks like it was for a high stick. Stenval rock solid in defence for the Quokkas. She'll be sorely missed on this penalty kill. So an opportunity now for the Stingrays to get one back. Stenval will have to sit 2 or less if the goal is scored. Kelly can't quite get enough on the face-off. The West Australians clear the puck. It gets past Elwood, goes all the way down, and picking it up though is Dowell, who looks up ice trying to find a connection. Can't quite get it cleanly. And now the West Australians dump the puck back. It'll be picked up by Elwood. Elwood fans on it. And now it's just an opportunity for forward, but couldn't get enough on it. Fires the puck in past Watson, past Lunt. And now it's played up, and it's picked up by Stanton for the Central Coast, looking for Kelly going down the middle. The connection not going to happen as Elwood dumps the puck in deep. And the Central Coast will go back in and put some pressure on. The West Australians on the kill for another 1 minute and 10 seconds. As the Central Coast get another shot on that. Just gets caught up and tangled up in the feet of forward. But the save made by Eleanor Watson. And with 55 seconds to go on the Stenval penalty, the Quokkas still hold a 1-0 lead with 2 minutes to go in the first. If I was the West Australians, I'd just be taking my time on this face-off. Maybe the centre has a chat to the referee, where should I put my stick, that sort of thing. Central Coast creeping in a little bit, being bold. Newbury with the puck takes a shot on, goes through, but Watson watches it into the corner nicely. Winder tried to do something with it, but it's gone deep now, and it'll be dumped all the way down. Racing back to pick it up, Newbury trying to get one more rush out of this penalty. They've got 20 more seconds to go on the power play. Looking up ice for options, sees Darcy, but not moving very much. Sees also Winder on the far side. Winder now moving in towards the slot. Puck goes behind the net, though, and it'll be picked up by Zucks, who rims it around the corner, but only gets it as far as Winder. But now the West Australians clear the zone. The Central Coast forced all to come out. Nice pressure there by McNabb, and that ends this Stuval's penalty. And it is Antil being driven into the corner, gets round one, gets it onto her forehand and tries to chip it up, but Central Coast back there in defence. Nice poke check though by Coe, keeping the puck in, but it's Winder now with the puck at her feet, racing back. She's got 2 to beat in front of her. She's got Darcy with her as well. Shoots. Save made Watson. Winder showing her attacking threat. Lisa Wilkinson has a shot. Blocker save and a blocker catch. You won't see them very often by Eleanor Watson. She went up high on the blocker and caught the puck in the top of it. Which is a pretty impressive save to make. 50 seconds to go in the first. Quokkas 1, Stingrays 0. Shots on the net, 8 in favour of the Stingrays, just 2 to the Quokkas, but they don't need to be a lot of shots if they go in. It was Antil who got the tip in. It goes the puck up high to Dowell, who flings it in. You can see those high sticks. A few players thinking maybe they're playing lacrosse. Just you want to keep those sticks down. Trying to put the puck across through the front was Boxer. And now it'll be played out by the Quokkas, but nice steal by Giles, who just managed to get enough on it to cause some disruption. And now Bartlett loses the puck in her feet. Picked up by Dowell. Dowell going wide. Couldn't get past Nam. And there's a shot on the net, but it's saved safely. And that will end the first period. The Quokkas, 1 goal from 2 shots from Antil's tip-in from a beautiful shot by... get there in a second. It should show up on our system. It certainly wasn't unassisted. I think it was Coe who got the assist on that one. Well, certainly it should be. It was a beautiful shot, and then just a tip and change of direction by Antil for that 1 goal. Stingrays with a couple of power plays. The West Australians doing very well on their penalty kill, however. They couldn't get it past. And at the end of the first, 1-0 to the Quokkas. With just the 2 shots, though. But it was a cracker of a shot. We're very pleased to see that Bobby Clark is on the ice. We weren't sure that she was going to play this particular game. Looked like she might have been injured in the previous one to the point where it might have been a not continue sort of thing. But very good to see that she's on the ice and doesn't seem to have any ill effects whatsoever. It's been very dynamic indeed for the Ice Quokkas, and the so far equal top goal scorer with Tess Wilkinson from the Stingrays. Sam Winder coming up pretty quickly though with 4 goals in the 1 game that she's played so far. The Stingrays with most of the goals, however. Wilkinson 5, Winder 4, Dowell with 3, Darcy 3, and Poppy Kelly with 2. And a few others scattered around through it. But the number 1 point scorer at the moment in the league is Tess Wilkinson with 8. And the number 1 assist is Boxka and Buchanan and Wilkinson with 3. So the Stingrays having a very good tournament so far. The Quokkas will like to upset that if they can. This is the clash between the 2 teams. The first time these 2 teams have met. We may well see them meet again in the grand final on Sunday. That remains to be seen. Puck driven in deep, picked up by forward, who looks up ice, tries to find an option. Gets it past that forecheck of Jones. Shot in deep, and it's Olofsson trying to make something constructive, and we're going to have a cross-check on Dowell, who will have to sit two. So now the Quokkas go to the power play. Dowell will sit two. Quokkas with an opportunity now to get the second with the numerical advantage. They can get enough shots on the net. We'll see what happens with this one, see how it pans out. We'll also see how well disciplined the Central Coast Stingrays penalty kill is, see what patterns they set up. All they want to do at the moment, though, is clear the puck down the other end. Bobby Kelly goes in to put a lot of pressure on Savitas, but Savitas puts the puck in. Goes deep in the slot as just losing her feet there was Nab. Puck up to the point, though, and forward tries to fling it in, gets into some traffic. Olofsson not quite able to get as much on it as she would have liked. Puck comes across just past Olofsson again, and it's on the blue line by Savitas, who flings it in wide, looking for Braun. Puck loose in the side. Olofsson just fanned on that one. Savitas with another chance to try and poke it in, but it's brought out by Kelly, who goes to put a lot of pressure onto forward, who dumps it in, but it's picked up by the Central Coast through the middle. Braun was racing back to try and do it. Forward looks up high, sees Bobby Kelly coming, plays up the safety of the boards nicely, and a little bit of a reversal there by Clark. Sorry, McNabb. McNabb now racing off into the corner to do something with it. Fires the puck in deep into traffic. So far, the Central Coast's penalty kill very effective. You can see them doing a great job of owning the space in front of the net, making sure that the Coast can't get, making sure the Quokkas can't get a good shot from an advantageous position. Antle tucks the puck around the back, trying to create an opportunity to break up the pattern. Comes up to Savitas, who's beaten by Kelly. Poke-checked, however, by McNabb. Kelly loses the puck on that occasion. It's on the penalty kill. Racing back now to try and do something about it, but picked up by Newbury, who looks up ice. Plays the puck found by forward. 23 seconds to go on the Dowell penalty. Quokkas had a couple of chances, but didn't get much on the net. Racing back now to fill up the gap is Annie Bartlett, who now occupies space in front of the net. Puck deep in the corner. Stenval watching it closely, starts to move back now. She sees the threat coming from Darcy. Puck goes into the corner as McNabb goes to pick it up now. The penalty over for the Central Coast as Newbury makes her way across and off the ice. And while she did that, of course, the puck went right through her feet and she just ignored it. I don't get why they do that. But anyway, there's a game on. You should be playing it. Konau dekes around one, gets onto a forehand, tries to get the shot past the Central Coast defence. Is harried off, hassled off into the corner. Can't do much with it. Stenval waiting for the puck up on the blue line. And it's broken out. Winder has a bit of room, tries to chip it up to Wilkinson. Wilkinson gets around Clark, but the puck goes in behind the net, picked up Nab. Nab trying to find Clark in the slot. Watch closely though. Now the puck goes into the corner. It's broken out now. Racing back to pick it up is Stenval. Stenval with a bit of room. She's got Wilkinson coming in on the forecheck. Plays the puck up ice looking for Clark. Clark heads up with the puck just under her feet. Can't pick it up as Sam Winder now coming the other way. Has room in front of her. Gets on the forehand, winds, but Stenval got a body in the way. And just took the shot away, so Watson didn't have to do anything there. Always good for goal there as Clark now goes around the back of the net and tries to clear the puck, but leaves it behind. And now the cross-ice pass for the West Australians is successful, and Parker racing up to try and pick it up. Got the check back by the Central Coast successful, and now it's Labour, who looks up ice. Cross ice, of course, finds Darcy, and it's kept in. Trying now to do something with it, Parker. Stenval trying to swat the puck out of the ice, but it's Labour eventually who clears the puck out of the zone. And it'll be picked up, though, by Dowell, but Dowell finds Parker. Parker chips it in deep, tries to get past Polina and does. Puck deep into the corner now as Parker goes in to apply some pressure. Nice reversal there. Winder looks up ice, trying to find options. Goes back the other way again, not liking what she sees. Looks up now, it's got some room. Gets around Parker. Up through the middle. Winder, but is eventually robbed of the puck by Mikowski. Nice work there, but wrapping around now and shooting was Dowell, but it didn't go. It was a good opportunity. Cross-ice pass is unsuccessful, and we have a couple of players down. A bit slow to get to her feet is Parker. Parker got tangled up with Dow, and he's a little slow to get up. Didn't look like anything particularly untoward. It was just an accidental collision. Neither of them really looking where they were going. She gets back to her feet and seems to be unharmed, which is just as well. Parker has been excellent. That's Sinead Parker has been particularly good for the Ice Quokkas so far through this tournament. And we will have a face-off in centre ice. The stoppage not brought about by any foul play, so the referees just bring it back for a centre ice face-off. It'll be taken by Kelly and Edwards. The face-off won by Edwards, but it gets tangled up in the referee's feet. Plays it back to Mikowski, who looks up ice, tries to find and does Braun, but Braun can't do much with it except shove it down into the corner. The Coast now looking to play it around the back of the net. Instead it goes across the front. Picked up now, Olafson battling for it, but it's brought up high. Losing a footing on the keep-in, but managed to do so anyway with Zucks. And the puck in the end ends up in the hands of Guinevere Lunt. And we'll get a reset. Central Coast electing not to change. The West Australians getting fresh legs on. So 5 fresh legs for the Ice Quokkas. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the second. A 1-goal lead to the Quokkas. It's tight. Face off won by Kelly, but it's intercepted. Now Kelly gets the puck and picks it up. She's got 2 in front of her. Tries to get around forward and does. He's got players racing deep into the slot with their 6 on the ice, but the West Australians coming back just as quickly. Kelly not able to get that one, and now it's back the other way in forward, who looks up ice, puts the puck deep into the corner and races to try and get past Newbury. Newbury gets the puck in the end, puts it up ice though, but unfortunately for her, it's intercepted. Puck comes across through the high slot. It's cleared out by the Coast. Racing back though to pick it up Boxer. Boxer looks up ice, finds Savitas. Not Boxer, sorry, McNabb finds Savitas. Savitas passes it to Kelly though. Kelly chips the puck up the boards, gets the puck past as far as Jones, but now it's McNabb with the puck again. Puts a bit of sauce on it, trying to find a connection, and does. And that's Ho now, who manages to get past the check, but unfortunately for her, Antil was offside. Just a couple of millimetres in it, but that's all it has to be. So we will have a face-off just outside the defensive zone for the Central Coast. 7 minutes to play in the second period. Quokkas with a 1-goal lead. It's tight, this game. It's exactly what we're expecting it to be. A real tussle between these two teams on top of the ladder at the moment. Winder takes the face-off, but only as far as the boards. It doesn't do anything effective. And it is Stenval with the puck with a bit of time. Got too many options, possibly not sure what to do. It passes it into the back of Parker, who lost sight of it. Now Nab tries to put it in, but it's powered out of the zone by Dow. Stenval looking for Bobby Clark. Can't quite get enough on it. Back it goes the other way. It's picked up now by Sam Winder. She's got to get around Stenval. Stenval forces her wide, and it trickles through. Sam Winder gets her first one of this game and her 5th of the tournament. She was pushed wide by Stenval, but it wasn't enough. Managed to just get enough on it to get it through Watson, and it just trickles through in the end. Just enough momentum to get past the goal. It might have gone through a 5-hole, and maybe she got a bit of a touch on it, but not enough. We'll see on the overhead replay here. Puck comes through, gets just under the 5-hole. I think Watson got something on it, but not enough to stop it. It had enough force to keep going. And Winder with the first goal. So we're all squared up now at 1 goal apiece with 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second. West Australians offside. They race back to try and sort the problem out. Zucks now having to take on Wilkinson. Wilkinson gets the puck away. The West Australians racing back to shut it down. You can see Edwards there in particular turned on the Jets as Olafson tries to keep the puck out of the zone. Doesn't get it out. Darcy had a swing and a miss. And that will be picked up by the Quokkas, taking it behind the net. Looking up ice for options. Finds the back of Sam Winder's skate, but it gets past Bartlett. Bartlett being pressed by Braun. Bartlett again with the puck. Just chips it across, looking for movement, but there wasn't any forwards coming through in a hurry. And now going in to pick up the puck is Zooks, who looks up ice. And forechecking pressure from Wilkinson. And it's eventually shoved back in by Elwood, but Elwood only as far as Zooks, who got a fair bit on that pass out, had put some sauce on it, trying to get it up to Braun. Braun racing in, but is beaten by Winder. And the puck Still in the zone, though, for the West Australian team. White has gone back to get it. There's the puck out, looking for a connection in Giles, but it didn't quite get in. There was a lot of back-checking pressure there by the West Australians, who are making changes. A little bit lucky there not to be called for too many players on the ice was Olofsson. He was in the process of getting on the ice, but luckily for her, getting off the ice, but luckily her counterpart hadn't come on, so they didn't have too many players. You can touch the puck at that point by mistake. Ko now away with none in front of her. Ko gets onto a forehand. Deeks backhand, shoots. Save made by Lunt. Ko with a great chance there. She deked around and committed the goaltender. You'll see this one on the replay from on top. She gets it across onto her backhand and then just tries to chip it over. But unfortunately for her, Lunt was all over that one. And we are still all tied up at 1 goal apiece with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Face off, not really cleanly won by anyone. Shot from a distance goes straight into Lunt's glove. I think that was Antle who flung that one in. And Lunt plucked it out of the sky. Goalies do love those glove saves. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Exact replay of the previous play, and the puck ends up in the same place. But this time it's run around the back. And it's Buchanan trying to clear the puck up for the Central Coast. But it ends up once more with Lunt. And we'll have another face-off. This time on the other side, though. So we're going to get a reversal as both teams change. 3 minutes to go by the time the puck is dropped in this second period. We're all tied up at 1 goal apiece. 10 shots on the net, the Stingrays. 7 to the Quokkas. Goals so far to... our system will catch up in just a moment to be able to tell you. Face-off will be taken and tied up through the slot, but the West Australians trying to get a shot on through Parker. Tried to get a backhand on, but didn't quite get enough on it. Ford flings it in through traffic and gets his goals. It's deflected off something. Ford with a shot from the blue line. Through traffic, low and hard. That's the way to do it. You can see here she winds it up, gets a lovely wrister. It's deflected off at least one of the Central Coast players. Lunt had it initially, but that's that little deflection. And now the Ice Quokkas are up to a 2-1 lead over the Stingrays from that good shot in from the point by Ford. You can see, shoot it low and hard, you get those deflections. The goalie can't make a glove save on that because it's too low and too quick. A great goal there by Ford on the blue line for the Quokkas to give them back that 1 goal lead. We've got 2 minutes to go in the second. Looking up ice now, trying to do something with it is Buchanan. Buchanan runs into some traffic. Poppy Kelly now trying to do something, but the puck played out of the zone nicely by Nab. As Bobby Clark gets tangled up, drops the stick and picks it up and still manages to come away with the puck. Great play there by Clark. But they find, Central Coast managed to find some attack. Racing now to try and put some pressure on is Stanton. Playing around the back of the net though. Just with Labour just a little bit lazy there with the one hand on the stick possibly and not enough on it. It's trying to shove the puck in, but Watson gets on top of it. It was Stanton there in good position. Just a little bit there. Labour couldn't quite get the puck where she wanted it with 2 hands. And so with that one hand on the stick, it just got passed out. I'm not saying you should always have 2 hands on the stick, because nothing could be further from the truth. But in that case, it was a little bit of a weakness and created a good scoring opportunity for the Coast. Luckily for them, Watson managed to make the save and shut it all down. As the Coast is trying to get their defence organised. Bartlett tries to put it through traffic, but it won't go. There's too many bodies in the way. Picking it up Darcy. She tries to play the puck up ice to clear it out, get it back on the net. As Bartlett chips it in. Losing a footing there, though, Mikowski. And it's picked up Winder. Winder tries to get the puck back across. It plucked out of the sky, but not able to make the catch. Watson. So Winder now goes to try and pick it up on the backhand. He's got a lot of pressure on her. Puck comes up and he's not quite kept in by Newbury. The puck did come out of the zone, only millimetres in it, but that's all it takes. Newbury couldn't keep the puck in, which caught the Central Coast offside. 14 seconds to play in the second period. I suspect this face-off will not happen as the team's making their way across, but there's only now 5 seconds to go on the clock. We're not going to get this face-off. So at the end of the second period, the Quokkas still with a 1 goal lead. Not much in it. Antil with the goal for the Quokkas. the first goal for the Quokkas, and the second one went to Jess Ford with that lovely shot in from the blue line and picking up a nice deflection. The Stingrays with one as well from Sam Winder. He got a tip in too, which was a ripper. But it's going to all come down to the third this game now. 1 goal the lead to the Quokkas. It's not much of a lead. The Rays have to score twice, and we've certainly seen some resolute defence from both teams. Just a grand total of 20 shots on the net throughout the first 2 periods by both teams. 12 to the Stingrays and 8 to the Quokkas. But the Quokkas doing the right thing, flinging the puck in hard from the blue line, creating good opportunities. And as we saw, the lovely little deflection there, which paid into Jess Ford's scoreboard. And so she tickles the twine and gets herself a goal. Just on 10 seconds or so now to go before we start the third. Coming up after this game, we will have the Furies playing the Hidden Gems at 8:40 p.m. and then at 9:45 p.m. the Reds will take on the Annihilators. So this is the last time that we will get to see the Quokkas for this evening. And the Stingrays as well. It'll be their last game, and they can go home and go to wherever they're staying and get a good night's sleep, or go out on the town and party. Hey, it is Melbourne. Stuff happens here. Although there's thunderstorms rolling through after side. It was a hot day here in Melbourne. Got up to 37 degrees. But, then the big thunderstorm came through, and we got that lovely southwesterly breeze, which shuts everything down in Melbourne when we get hot spells. If you're a local, you already know that. If you're from WA, it's a little bit like the Freo Doctor, except we don't get it every day and it doesn't happen all the time. The West Australians win the face-off there. McNabb tries to find some help and does. Gets the puck to Coe. Coe loses it in the feet but keeps track of it. It's being pressed tightly. Now the puck into the corner, cycling around, but good pressure by the Central Coast on the blue line and the D zone, and they clear the puck out, racing back to get it forward. Ford's got pressure on her from Giles. Ford looks up ice, trying to find good choices. The West Australians clear the puck out of the zone. It's Coe again. He's having a great game. Tries to find a pass across. Manages to find Antil. Antil wound on it, but was intercepted. Dale got a stick on. Dale very wisely playing stick to stick and body to body. Puck bobbling around in front of the net. But Lunt, in the end, tidies it up. And good support there back. She had Elwood with her. And so too Dowell doing a good job of owning that space in front of the net. Central Coast need 2 goals to win this one. Unless the Quokkas score again. It's just a 1-goal lead to the Quokkas with 14 minutes to play. They've eaten up the first minute. We will, if the score stays this tight, have stop time in the last minute of the game, unless the Quokkas get out to a larger lead, which does put a lot of pressure on the teams with that minute to go. But racing up now down the ice is Dowell, but a poke check. Clark just took the puck off her, and 2 of the Central Coast run into each other, and the puck lost somewhere. I don't think anyone knows where it is. We'll just wait until someone sorts it out. Referee with another puck. It looks like it might have left the rink. Hopefully they won't find it in some nondescript corner, and then all of a sudden there'll be 2 pucks on the ice. But no, that's not the case. No one injured in the collision. That's a good thing. Face off poked through by Clark, and it's lobbed high by Dowell. And it's going to go for icing, and will be brought back for a face-off in the defensive zone. An opportunity now for the Quokkas to try and stack this and get another goal in. They've got Clark on the ice. Clark and Nab and Parker, and they've been very effective together, these 3 as a line so far throughout the tournament. But, outstanding too, I think, today has been Zuck. She's been great, and Jenny Coe has been superb too for the Quokkas, even though she did manage to get herself a penalty. But kept in by Mikowski. But Poppy Clark now tries to get past everyone. Can't get past Clark. Clark got enough on it to break up the movement. And now it's picked up Parker, cycling around trying to find room. Puts it in the slot. Chance was there. Nab couldn't quite get enough on it. Now Clark looking for Nab. It's picked up though and picked off by Dowell. Dowell playing up the ice. He's got 3-on-2 for the Coast if they're quick, but racing back to try and shut it down. Clark goes into the corner and just takes Dowell out of it. Darcy there on the back post almost managed to get the puck in the net behind Watson, but it wouldn't quite go for them. Now it's Parker who clears the puck out of the zone. It's picked up Clark. Clark with 1 in front wisely flings the puck in deep and gets it changed. Fresh legs on for the Quokkas. Looking up ice now is Dow. She's got no one really to pass to at the moment. Her team's still changing. Carries it herself, pushed by Edwards. Now lobs it in, trying to find Kelly on the stretch. And it's Wilkinson instead who picks it up. Now Kelly ends up with the puck, gets around one, shoots. Blocker save by Watson, goes into the corner. Played up now by the West Australians. Dumped in by Buchanan though. And circling around is Darcy, trying to find someone to pass it to. She's got no one in front of her. Winder just coming on now for the Coast. Winder with that one goal earlier. It's picked up by Newbury, who just dumps the puck back past Olofsson. And now the West Australians being checked tightly there by Darcy though. Nice forechecking pressure by the Central Coast. They know they need to get a goal reasonably early to get themselves in this. Newbury picks it up, dumps it back past Olofsson, back into the zone for the Central Coast. And they rim it around trying to find Winder. Winder with pressure on her now. There's 2D tying her up, giving her very little in the way of options. Ends up with the puck, however, in a slot, trying to clear the puck out, but the West Australians will get there first. And it's picked up by, I think that was Olofsson. Olofsson in the slot. Now we're looking for the pass across by Braun, but it's picked up Winder. Lovely little deep, gets past McNabb the first time, but McNabb makes no mistake the second time. It's Wilkinson now with the puck being harassed by two. They've left Winder loose in the slot. They want to be careful, the West Australians. If they get it to Winder, she'll score from there. Bartlett tried to do exactly that. Wilkinson trying to do the same thing. McNabb's seen the threat and is now picking up Winder. She was there for a long time. Luckily for the West Australians, they didn't get the pass across to her, as now it's played up ice and broken out by Braun. Braun chips it in deep. Sorry, Antle chips it in deep. She's got pressure on her, but picking it up now. McNabb comes to get it. McNabb winds, just fans on it. Couldn't quite get enough on it, and it went wide. Basically sliced the puck off the stick. As they battle in the corner now, puck comes across into the slot. Antle gets a shot, loses her footing in the process. And the puck under a lot of pressure now, the Central Coast. They're not getting things all their own way in their defensive zone, that's for sure. Racing in to pick up the puck. It's forward. Fresh from that goal earlier. Puck loose just around the back, wrapping around, trying to get the shot in is Coe. Didn't quite go. Now the puck comes back across the front, but bounces off the back of the net. And it's Antle this time, who has time, gets a shot, goes across the front, trying to find the connection. Coe was there. Top of the slot empty at the moment for the Quokkas. But good offensive pressure. The Central Coast have been out on the ice for a long time now defending. They'll be starting to get pretty tired. It comes up, but it's chipped out in the end, and it's cleared out of the zone by Giles. So the Coast are pretty desperate to get a change, and they do. They bring on Elwood and Newbury, and luckily for them, we have an icing. The West Australians icing the puck, so they will be brought back for a face-off in their zone. The Central Coast were pretty desperate to get that change. They've been stuck on the ice for a long time under a lot of forechecking pressure by the Quokkas. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this third and final period of the game. The Quokkas with a 1-goal lead over the Central Coast Stingrays. 8 shots for 2, 13 for 1. Face-off chipped through by Boxker. Shot comes across. There's bodies all over the place in front of the net. Giles tried to get it in, but it wouldn't quite go. And now the puck played up the ice, and it's Nab who gets around Elwood. No ice on the call, tries to put this puck into the slot. The connection with Clark. Clark got onto it, but couldn't get the angle that she would have liked. The puck now cleared around the back of the net and put back there by Giles, who was under a lot of pressure. Puck comes up high now. Clark circles around. He's got too many green bodies around her to do terribly much, but it's Nab now trying to find someone in the slot. She's got a little bit of room. Finds Clark, who gets onto a forehand, fires. Deflected wide by Lunt. Puck back in the slot again. Nab takes the shot. It deflects off just about everything. Luckily for the Coast, it's eventually pulled back by Lunt, who shuts it down, but some great offensive pressure there by that combination of Nab and Clark, who've been very effective there indeed. Fresh legs on for both teams. Can the Central Coast get one back? 7 minutes to play in the third. 1-goal lead to the Quokkas. Nothing in it. Not quite able to keep the puck in. Just on the edge of the line there. Stenval, who flings it in hard and deep in the end. Poppy Kelly now with the puck. She's got one with her and two to beat. She gets around the check, gets a shot on, but Watson makes the save. It was a shot from a bad angle in the end. There's not much you could do. There was a lot of good defensive back pressure. The Quokkas doing a very good job at the moment of owning that space. And now it's picked up Stenval, who dumps it deep. It's going to go across, but only as far as Dow, who has coming in to put some pressure on Olofsson. Olofsson putting a lot of pressure on Dow. Dow circling left and right. Eventually manages to evade the pressure and gets some room and space. Still pressure though. Olofsson is doing a great job of containing her. Cutting back about 2,000 or 3,000 oscillations there that she's doing there is Dow, who just keeps going left and right, and finally tries to get a shot away, but it runs into Labour. Labour, who gets the body in the way and shuts that one down. But Poppy Kelly now tries to do something constructive, puts it across the front, but ends up being a pass to Watson, who makes it safe. Not very happy there with that piece of play was Stenval. A little bit unhappy with Kelly. Looks like Kelly's going to get two for a cross-check, which was why Stenval was a little bit upset about it. Poppy Kelly gets two for a cross-check, and will be sitting and giving the Quokkas the numerical advantage with 5 minutes to go. The puck will be dragged down to the other end, which, if you're a Quokka fan, is absolutely in your favour. You want the clock to keep ticking. 5 minutes to go, 1 goal lead. And now they've got 2 minutes of an extra player on the ice, unless, of course, they score a goal, in which case they get the extra goal. I'm sure they'd prefer that to just a 1 goal lead with 5 minutes to play. But they're going to get first 3 minutes, the last fair significant percentage of time now. But Sam Winder gets the puck and she's breaking through. West Australians need to do something about it. She slips the first check. Doesn't get round the second though, ridden into the corner. Winder has no room there to move, and the Quokkas will clear the puck out of the zone, forcing Dowell to go back and pick it up. And we just saw Dowell do some pretty amazing stuff earlier. Dowell tries to get round everyone, fires a shot in from the distance. It just bounces wide. Watson got enough on it to deflect it out of the zone. And now the West Australians not quite able to clear as Sam Winder comes in. Sam runs into Zucks. Zucks tries to clear the puck out of the zone. The West Australians at the moment will be quite happy just to clear the puck out. They find Antle. Antle with two in front. Gets around one but leaves the puck behind. Winder dumps it in deep. Only as far as Zucks. Zucks tries to find Ko. Ko finds Antle. Antle winds and shoots, but it goes wide. Watch carefully there, Lunt, as she had a blocker out, but it wasn't going to go far enough. The puck cleared out of the zone in the end as they dump it deep. Now the West Australians reset. They've got 3 on 2, but Antle going for a change. Trying to chip the puck around the back there, McNabb, but can't get the puck out. Here comes Boxer with some room, but chasing back desperately, McNabb. Being ridden into the corner, the Central Coast. But here comes Nab again. It's Sarah Darcy, though, with the puck down at her feet, but McNabb not able to do enough with it. Just 25 seconds to go on the Kelly penalty as it is dumped back down the ice. It picked up by Forward, the goal scorer from earlier for the Quokkas. West Australians all onside. Racing in to put some pressure on is Parker. Parker manages to intercept. Puck comes across the front of the net, but it is saved by Lunt at the last. On the drop of the puck, Kelly will be back on the ice. The West Australians will need to be mindful of this. If you are Jess Forward, you want to know that she's coming on behind you on the drop of the puck. I'm not sure they're necessarily aware of it. Yep, they've just worked it out now. But, that's an opportunity for Kelly if she can get behind them, and you can see there Jess Forward keeping a close eye on Poppy Kelly. 2.5 minutes to play. 1 goal the lead to the Quokkas. Kelly now with the puck. She's got a little bit of room. Tries to get around Forward, but Forward gets the puck off her quite nicely and just bashes her way through. And ends up, though, in the hands of Newbury, who looks up ice for an option. Tries to find Winder and does. But we're going to get another whistle, and it's going to be... Not exactly sure what that one's for. The referee's just having a quick conference. Maybe too many players on the ice for the Central Coast. But unfortunately for them, of course, the clock is ticking. While this discussion is going on, it's another 30 or 40 seconds coming off the clock. No, it's going to be a penalty. It's a penalty on Spalina, who will be sitting to. Not sure what that one was for yet. So that's not what the Central Coast would have wanted. The Quokkas now with 1 minute and 47 seconds to go. By the drop of the puck, it'll be 1 minute 30. So Spallina will be sitting out the rest of the game. Just because he's got more penalty time. There is time remaining on the clock. Winder tries to win it. This is where the Central Coast will need to do something like pull their goalie even though they're on the kill. Racing back to pick it up, Stenval. She's got Winder with her. Maybe she didn't know. Winder comes racing around the back at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Gets the puck looking high, trying to find Wilkinson. Wilkinson circling around. Winder going laps of the course. She's got pressure on her. She gets a shot in from a distance, but it bounces off the faceplate there of Watson. Puck up high. Here come the West Australians. They clear the puck out of the zone. Just 1 minute and 10 to go. Blasting away through Clark. Tries to get around the check. Clark now with an opportunity. Gets a shot. Bounces wide. Gets another shot across the front, and it's not quite in the net. By golly, it looked like it from here. Looked like Nab had it in the net. We have a whistle for a cross-check. And it looks like it's going to be Dowell who will sit. So now the West Australians with a 5-on-3 advantage. The clock has stopped. We are into stop time. But we now have 5-on-3 for the Quokkas with just 53.2 seconds to play in the game. And they have the advantage of 5 players, whereas the Central Coast will just have the 3. Spallina and Dowell will be sitting out for the remainder of the game unless a goal is scored, in which case Spallina will be able to come back on, but Dowell will stay off. So the Quokkas with a numerical advantage throughout to the rest of the game. Face-off won by Boxcar. The Quokkas at this point will be content just to keep putting the puck on the net, and they do. Clock stops though. Every time the whistle blows, the clock will stop. 1 goal the lead to the Quokkas. 46.5 seconds to go and 3-on-5. 2 of the Central Coast players being in the box. They play the puck up the ice. The Quokkas now, all they really need to do is just hold possession. And I'm sure they'd like to score a goal. Here comes Boxcar. She's got a bit of room, but wisely there, picking it off forward. Best forward tries to put the puck across, looking for someone. But she loops around the back of the net. They've got players loose in the slot. It's picked up by Olafson, who gets a shot on the net. But the save made by Lunt. 20.9 seconds to go. It's not impossible for the Quokkas to win it from here, or even for them to tie it up. Tying it up a little bit more likely. The Quokkas sailing off. I think they thought the game was over, but not quite yet. There's still 20 seconds to go. It is stop time. Taking the face off now for them. Still got that 3-on-5. Trying to get the puck up the ice. But they've got to be a little bit aggressive here if they want to. Boxcar was coming up to try and put some pressure. 13 seconds to go. Still 3-on-5. Puck comes across the front. Lots of shots. But the puck will go all the way down the other end. And that's actually going to work in the favour of the Quokkas because the Stingrays won't be able to get there in time. And that ends the game with the iceHQ winning the game 2-1 over the Stingrays. In the end, the Rays just giving it away a little bit with excessive penalties in that last little stanza. So that is a thriller of a game. Takes the Quokkas up to tied with 8 points on the Central Coast Stingrays. So we're tied at the top at the moment, that's for sure. And our next game will be at 8:40 p.m. and it will be the Furies versus the Adelaide Hidden Gems. So our final interstate competitors game tonight. We've got finals tomorrow, Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then 10 o'clock in the morning the semis. And then in the afternoon we've got the consolation bronze medal game, and the cup final will be at 5 p.m. At the moment, it'll be looking pretty close for you'd be suggesting that the finalists will be these two teams as a rematch. But that will wait and see. The Melbourne Reds will want to have something to say about that. And we'll be back with you at 8:40 p.m.